This new case law is actually going to change a lot of veterans' lives. And no, this is not clickbait. I'm going to show you exactly what we're talking about here, which is Barry v. McDonough. McDonough is the previous VA secretary, in case you're wondering. And although, here it is right here, although this is May of 2024, VA takes a really long time catching up, so to speak. And so, yes, this is new as of right now. And yes, this can get a veteran up to $9,000, non-taxable, by the way, which is awesome for that specific audience. Now, obviously, the $9,000 is going to be for a select few, but a ton more are going to be able to take advantage of this, right? And get a few thousand extra dollars on top of their VA disability payment each month. So here we go. We have our homie, right? And then we have the VA. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. You're more than welcome to. But right here is what you need, okay? Daniel D. Berry appeals a final decision of the U.S. Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims, limiting his entitlement to additional SMC, special monthly compensation. I'll talk about that here in a second. In the underlying proceedings, Mr. Berry argued that the Board of Veteran Appeals, so that's the VA, the BVA, should have considered his entitlement to multiple SMC increases rather than just one. A majority of the Veterans Court disagreed and interpreted that code to permit only one SMC increase, regardless of how many qualifying disabilities Mr. Berry could demonstrate. As we explained below, and that's the part I'm not going to read, we're just going to take the verdict, if you will, does not limit how many SMC increases can be provided. Instead, it's a mandatory entitlement that can apply multiple times, subject to a statutory cap. We thus reverse and remand. Right, so Mr. Berry, along with everyone else, can have multiple SMC ratings. We're talking about like getting bumps and half steps here. I will explain that. Here is the VA's. If you Google SMC VA, here's what's going to pop up. Okay. Now let me talk about SMC in a very basic understanding. There's different. So there's 0 to 100%, which is over here, and then you have 100% to SMC. SMC scale is much more severe than 0 to 100%. Okay, there's small SMCs like SMCK. That's the most common. We're talking about erectile dysfunction for males, female sexual arousal disorder for females, or FSAD. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the true disabled. When you say the word disabled veteran, what your mind jumps to is SMC. Okay. So let's get back to describing SMCs. All right. So first, how va.gov is organized here. It starts with the rates. So SMCL, I'll show you what all of these mean here in a second. But when I say bumps in half step, what the court is saying is, hey, SMCL, then there's half, then there's M, then there's half, then there's N. And you can see it just keeps going up. What the VA is saying, you only get one. Although you should rate multiple, you only get one. Sorry, dude. And the Court of Appeals is like, VA, you're wrong. Please reverse. Anyways, so that's how a veteran can get bumps in half steps. That's my bare Barney understanding and explanation. I'm sure a lawyer could give us the deeds, okay? And then it goes in half OP R1. This is pretty much where it's going to stop at, okay, for this specifically. And so, yes, a veteran can receive up to $9,500. Now, this is rates. You scroll down just a little bit more, and then it finally tells you what each of these are. It gives you examples. Here we go. So L through O, and you can see past rates, okay? So L, you may receive designation if you've had both feet amputated or one foot and loss of use, right? And so this is like when we're talking about disabled, okay? Like they got the handicap placard. They're taking 40 minutes minimum to go from their car to the Walmart front door if they're even shopping in the first place by themselves, okay? So this is what we are talking about when we say SMC. That's like the true disabled, the most vulnerable. Veterans on the SMC scale, genuinely, thank you for your service. 0 to 100% means nothing relative to SMC. I'm saying that to just get this in your head here, okay? So that's L. And then you see L half, right? Left foot and one knee. And it just keeps going with examples. And then you have all these examples, or you have all these examples. I'm not going to read these. It would take a long time. Then you have M, looking at both hands, okay? Both hands. So let's say you're missing both feet, both hands. You should rate both, is what the court is saying. Okay? Then you have the half here, and it just keeps like there's blindness, okay, is probably one of the more common ones. Then you have N here, and it just keeps going to N half and then O. Anyways, that's all I got. New case law. Thank you very much.